We're gonna warm up first. So go ahead and stand on up and then just find some space. And we'll just kind of go from upper body down the body. So just starting with the neck first. Take the chin down towards the chest, ear over to the shoulder, back up and around, and ear over to the other shoulder. Couple times here. And the next time your chin's to the chest, go ahead and switch directions. Make sure that you're pulling your tummy in, standing nice and straight, and allowing the shoulder blades to relax down the back, shoulders far away from the ears. Last one here, next time your chin's to the front, go ahead and bring it up. And then we'll look over the shoulder and switch. Just looking kind of back and over the shoulders, each direction. Last ones, and then take the ear to the shoulder and switch. So just dropping the ear down and switching between left and right. And then come back over to one side. Take the same arm up and just relax the hand over the head. We're not actually pulling here. You're just kind of allowing the weight of the hand to go into the head. And then if you would like to further this, you're going to take the opposite hand and stretch it down away from the body. And then take your chin and tip it towards your armpit. The hand will then go onto the back of the head and really focus on pressing the opposite shoulder down and away. And then release the hand, roll the head into center and pick it up. Going to the other side, ear to shoulder first, then bring up the hand, allow it to relax there. And then if you would like, pressing down through the palm of the opposite hand, away from the body, shoulder nice, relax down, and then tip the chin towards the armpit. Nice deep breath here. Remove the hand, roll the neck up, and then we'll just do some shoulder rolls here. So nice big shoulder rolls. Elbows can lift. You can lift the whole arm if you want, whatever feels good to you, and allows you to really focus on opening the chest and then pressing through the space in the shoulder blades. And reverse, come the other way. Really rotating, waking up the body. Last one. Then we're going to take our chest forward to the side, back and to the side slowly. So squeeze the shoulder blades together, pop the chest out to the front, then push the rib cage over to one side, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the abs, and press into the space between your shoulder blades, and then over to the other side. Again, forward to the side, back to the side, forward, side, back, side. If you want, you can start to smooth this out so that you're doing circles, or you can stick with the forward, side, back, side, whatever you're comfortable with. Last rotation here. The next time you're front, break it down again. Forward, go the opposite direction, back, side, forward, opposite, back, side. And then if you want, you can start to smooth it out into rotations, circles of the ribs. Last one. We're going to come and do the same thing with our hips. So you're going to push the hips forward, squeeze the tush, You're going to take it over to the side, back, press around, and to the side. Your hands can go wherever you need them to be. So really squeeze the tush forward, press, back, side, forward, side, back, side. And then if you want, same thing, you can start slowing this down and making it into one big circle. Really squeeze as you come forward and really press as you go back. Switch directions the next time you're forward. Break it down first. Forward, side, back, side. Last time, slow like this. And then take it into nice hip circles here. One more. And then just come on up to stand. Last stretch here before we begin. Tuck the chin to the chest. Let the shoulders come forward and let the arms just dangle. Roll down through each vertebrae, all the way down. Hands can either go into the shins, into the ankles, or all the way down onto the floor. We're really lifting our sits bones back up towards the back wall, and just allow the body to dangle here heavy. So shake your head yes, shake your head no, or nod your head no. Make sure that your upper body is nice and relaxed and the weight is kind of pulling down, stretching the backs of the legs. And then heel toe your feet out wide. Walk your body over to the right leg. Pull the body into the right leg. Try to keep both legs nice and straight. Exhale, walk through center, over to the other side. Pull the body into the leg. Chest to thigh, knee to nose. And then back in center, and you can just walk yourself forward and come on down. Okay, so let me get my timer here. If you were here for last week's class, we are a minute on with a break in between to kind of just give us time to transition to the next exercise. If at any point it's just too much, it's painful, or anything comes up where you just can't hold it for a minute, go ahead and take your break. Just try to come in the last kind of 10 seconds-ish. So if you have yoga blocks, we're gonna come up into a diva kind of position stretch. So we have a position or a move in pole called diva up and downs, which require chest to be wide and back arch ability. So you're gonna set your blocks up so that your head rests on the tall one and your chest is on the middle one. Go ahead and play around right now before we start with kind of the position of the blocks. You can lay it down and down. Just make sure that your head is nice and supported and your chest is wide. If you don't have blocks, you're basically rolling up your towel and you want to put it kind of along the back bra strap so that your chest is being stretched open to the side. And yeah, we're just gonna hold here for the first minute, and then I will tell you what to do from there. If at any point you feel like you've stretched enough to go into something more, if you have your blocks, you can always change the position of them to be higher or lower as you need. And if you have the towel or pillow or whatever, you can just add more. So the more pillow or towel you have, the higher your chest is going to be, and the more stretch you're gonna get. So go ahead and get into position. And we will start now. So your first block is right where your bra strap would be. The second block is right at the base of the skull. And you can either have your arms straight out, or depending on how flexible you are, you can have them up into a cactus position. Whatever is more comfortable for you. The whole purpose of this is to actually relax into this. So it just depends on how flexible you are to begin with. Make sure you're taking nice deep breaths here. 10 more seconds here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you want, go ahead and come out and take a break. If not, we're moving into the next phase. So you're gonna actually take your knees and bend them, place the feet straight into the ground, and then you're going to allow the knees to come over to one side. So we're trying to keep this hip on the floor while being in this twisted position here, without allowing the hip to pop up and your body to come off of the block at the top. So you might have to use some core muscle here to hold the legs over to the side. If this is not comfortable for whatever reason, you're just holding the straight-legged position. And go ahead and begin. Choose a side for the knees to go over to. Make sure that your chest is staying straight up to the ceiling. Just relaxing and breathing here. Allowing the chest to open and widen. Every time you exhale, see if you can melt a little bit more into this position. Ten more seconds here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and come on up. At this point, if you want, roll on off. We've got a couple seconds to readjust. Maybe you can take this up or down even more. Maybe keep the one block at one height and lower your head so that you're getting more of a pop of a chest, whatever you're comfortable with. And we will bend the knees to the other side, starting now. Go ahead, bend them over. Again, really think about allowing the body to face up and down. Keep going. Breathing into it. Try to relax the upper body as much as possible. Really focus on opening the chest nice and wide, reaching the arms out to the side. We're almost there. 10 more seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and come on out. Okay, so from here, we are going to just go into kind of a seated diva. So come up to sit like just straight up, bend your knees, place your feet into the ground, and then come on back onto your hands. Your hands, the fingertips can face whichever way you need them to be, and more than likely they will move throughout this. You're just gonna take some rib circles like we did in our warm-up, but from a seated position. So you're pressing through and bending through, press through and bend through. And you're just drawing circles with the ribs while you're seated here. If you want to kind of give yourself a little bit more of a challenge, you can lift your hips up off the floor to make it more of a cardio kind of thing as opposed to just the normal. So go ahead and get into position, and we will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Choose whichever direction you wish to go. It doesn't matter. And really, really think about pressing as far forward, as far to the side, dipping down into the back and over to the other side as possible. So try to make these as big as you possibly can. Elbows are bending as you come back, pressing you forward as you go forward. Don't forget to breathe. Try to keep the ears away from the shoulders when you come back. So instead of letting the head disappear into the shoulders, really press through and just bend the elbows. 3, 2, 1, pause. We're gonna go the other direction. And go ahead and begin over and up and through. Again, if you want, pressing in to the feet and lifting the hips up. If you do it this way, still make sure that it's only your chest that is moving and you're not including the hips. Really keep that chest nice and wide, shoulders away from the ears, neck nice and long, and really press through the hands. Almost there, 10 more seconds. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. We are going to come down now, laying onto your back. From here, you are just going to pop the chest up, come onto the tip top of your head, and then tuck back down. If you have a ponytail in the way, you might need to remove it. So you're here, arms are up into a V, kind of above your head. Press into the hands. Act as if somebody's got a string tied to your chest, that they're up in the ceiling and they're pulling. So you're going to pop up and then tuck the chin and come back down. Popping up, coming back down. So we're just popping the chest, kind of squishing on the floor to get onto the back of the head, and then we tuck the chin down and lay back flat. Really press into the hands on this as much as you can, using the core, using the back muscles. We start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press into the ground, tip the head back. Hold there for a second and come back down. Pressing, pop the chest up off the floor, tuck the chin, come back down. Really press through the hands so that the weight is not on your head, or all the weight is not on your head. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Widen the chest. Look back behind you, and then tucking the chin, come back to laying down. up. Keep going, we're almost there. You have 10 more seconds here. Give it your best effort. And pause. Okay, just roll onto your side, come up, and just find a nice sit, and just do some head circles here, or just focus on the front and tip the chin down and then roll side to side. That was our diva practices. We are going to go into laying down bridges and body rolls. So I will show you where we're going next. If you have heels, you're welcome to slip them on for this. If not, don't worry about it. We're not going to use heels for the rest of the class, but this one in particular might be helpful. So you're going to come down, and we're just going to do bridges at first. So feet are hip distance apart, and you're just going to push into the feet. You are going to squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs, keep the upper body flat on the back, and you are going to tip the tailbone under, scooping, and you're going to push up, coming up onto the shoulders, and then tuck and roll back down. So that's all we're doing. We're just rolling up and rolling back down. Make sure that you're rolling through each vertebrae as opposed to lifting up and plopping back down. We really want the curl, so tucking the tailbone, squeeze the tush, pubic bone comes up towards your belly button, and you should feel every single vertebrae roll and peel off the ground, and then starting at the highest point, you tuck back down, and you should feel every vertebrae roll back onto the ground. So when you are ready, we will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling up and rolling back down. Really squeeze the tush, especially at the top. Come up as high as you possibly can. Try to keep your focus on the ceiling. Try not to look left and right in this. Really, really squeeze and tuck and roll. Focus on feeling each little vertebrae peel off and then come back down one at a time. Almost there. 10 more seconds. Keep it up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the next one we're going to go into, you're going to want to bring your heels as close to your bum as possible. If you don't have shoes on, if you can grab your ankles, great. If not, don't worry about it. Just try to reach for your heels. If you have heels on, you're actually grabbing the heel of your heel. Legs are wider at this point, so the feet are wider than the hips. And you're going to pop up, you're going to tuck the tailbone at the top and then roll back down. So we're pressing and tucking. We're doing a body wave here, laying down, up, roll back through, up, roll back through. Go ahead and begin. Holding onto your heels, or if you don't have heels on, try to come up onto the tippy toes and see if you can reach your heel just like the heel of your foot. If not, don't worry about it. You can put your hands down on the ground. But whatever you do, your body rolling here, squeezing up, tucking, rolling back down. Squeeze up, tuck the tailbone, roll back through. Really squeeze, press the hips high, tuck the tailbone and roll back down. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. From here, we are going to go down into just a plow position and we're going to hold. So plow position, you are laying down on the ground. Hands are going to be down by your sides to begin with. Tuck the knees into the chest, hike the hips up, and your feet are going to go over your head and you're going to hold here. Hands can come to the back to give you support on your bum. In this position, please make sure you're looking straight up at the ceiling. Don't turn your head side to side. And we begin in 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. You can split the legs open wide if you want to into a straddle, or you can keep them closed. Really, really just reaching the feet back up and away from you. Hands coming into the lower back, giving you support. Try not to look side to side. Keep going. Make sure you're breathing. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll on out. Take a little break here. We are going into clockwork with our legs. Okay, so I'm going to face this way so that you can see me. So we are here. No, sorry, not clockwork, leg waves. So you're going to come into a straddle position. So you're laying straight on the ground. You're going to come into a straddle position. From here, all you are doing is bending a knee up and straightening it. So try that just really quick. All you're doing is bending one knee as you press the back of the opposite leg knee straight. As you switch, pressing one leg straight, the other knee comes up. So if you need to, I find that imagining that you have strings attached to your knee with your hands and you pull and push. So you're just bending the knees. With this, the hips have to swivel. So allow the space between your rib cage and your hip bone to lengthen and squish together. So when you bend the knee, you squish it together. When you straighten it, you lengthen it, but the other side squishes together. So your hips are moving and the knees are bending. We're just gonna do that for a minute. And then I will tell you where we're going from there. So go ahead and come into position and go ahead and start. So just pulling the knees up towards the shoulders and allowing the hips to swivel side to side. Toes can be pointed here. And as you straighten the leg, think about reaching it out and away from your body. Hands can be wherever you need them to be. Really allow the hips to swivel here. As the knee comes up, the hip comes up. As the knee straightens, the hip goes away. These are leg waves, by the way. Keep going. 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and pause. Go ahead and bring your legs in together. Give yourself a break. The next one we are going to go into is going to be a supported hip leg wave. If this is too much for you, you can totally stick with what we just did and do it over again. If you're coming up to the next one, you're gonna go back into that little plow position, but keep the knees over and wide. From here, you're going to do the same thing with the knees, bending them down and pushing them up. So you're just kind of supported with the hip high at this point instead of laying on the back. So go ahead and give it a try. Your hands are supporting your hips. The weight should be in the shoulders and not the neck. Don't come up over so high that the weight is into your neck. It should be right along your shoulders. Hips have to swivel as the knee bends and straightens. Again, if this is too much, come out, come into your straddle position and do it laying down. You've got 9 more seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Good job. Okay, from here, we are going to do fan kick repeaters. So, chest openers, hip flexors for sure. So, we're gonna come into a sideways sit, so your knees are over to one side. The top leg is going to come across at an angle away from you. It is going to draw a rainbow. So just up and over. That's the top leg. Straight out, up and over. That's it. The bottom leg pretty much does the same thing. It just follows the top leg. So the top leg goes up in a rainbow. Other one comes up and draws a rainbow as well. Now, when you get over to this side, walk your hands close to your bum. Take your heels close to your bum as well. Press up, squish your heels and feet underneath you, and you're back into your first position. So your hands kind of have to move here. The further back they are, the more impressive flexibility-wise you will look in your fan kick. And then kind of shimmy them forward, press into the hands, squeeze the feet towards the bum, lift the hips up, and windshield wiper them underneath your bum, and you start back at the beginning. We'll go one side and then the other side, and go ahead and begin. Fan kick open, tuck the knees, press in, and windshield wiper the feet underneath the bum. Press forward, through, and repeat. Press in. If you can't keep both hands on the ground, that's fine. Press into one, scooch the bum over, come over onto the other hand, press up, and do it one-handed. So again, take one hand off, press up, windshield wiper the feet. As you come through center, switch the hands, and then squish the body back over to begin. Keep it up. Last one. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. And we're going to come to the other side. So same thing, just the other leg leads first now. Foot goes out to the side, across the body. It draws a rainbow up and over, and then comes back through. The bottom foot does exactly the same thing. And basically, if you think of a clock, the foot is at 3 o'clock. As it gets to noon, the bottom foot opens up to 3. You pivot on your hips so that you're at 9 and noon, and then close and close. We will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. And kick up and over. Press into the hands. Squish the feet underneath you. Windshield wiper them over. And start again. Opening. Press in. Open the chest. Get the feet underneath you. Windshield wiper. And sit. Open. If you need to do this one-handed, you press into the hand, lift the hips, squish the knees behind you, switch over to the other hand, and flop the feet back to beginning. One hand, windshield wiper the feet, other hand, finish the windshield wiper all the way, and come to sit on your bum. Last one here. Pressing through and coming down, and take a break. Excellent. Okay, we are going to go into kind of a cat-cow position here. If you need something for your knees, just grab a towel so that your knees are kind of protected. Normally, and kind of body roll kind of things, or like our chest dives, we chest dive our chest, not our hips. This is going to be different. We are actually going to chest, or I guess drop our hips first. So you're in an all-four position. The hips are going to come down to the ground as you push and arch your upper half up. So it looks like this. We come down and up. All my feet are doing is I pick one foot up and kick my bum as I go down. As I'm all the way down, I bend the other one and straighten that one, and then I push back up. So we're just gonna go down and up first, and then we're gonna add a little bit of a rotation next. So go ahead and set up. You can have your hands wider than your shoulders if you wish. Just kind of figure out where you need to be. And we begin. Just straight down and back up. Dropping the hip, pressing the chest forward so that you've got this nice long arch. Tummy is tight to protect the lower back. Down, down, and up. And down and up. If you want, you can switch which leg you started with. So if you began with the right one being bent first, switch it over so that the left one is bent first. Pressing the hips down towards the ground, squeeze the tush. Pressing through the hands. Opening the chest, almost there. And go ahead and sit back. While you're here and I'm explaining what we're gonna do next, go ahead and roll the wrists if you have a tendency to feel a lot of pressure into your hips. Okay, so I'm gonna face you so that you can see what my body is doing. So it's the same thing, but now we are going to take the hips over to one side, drop down in the middle, and push over to the other side. So I don't know if you can see my hips, but they're gonna drop over to the right side. I'm going to come through center, press over to the left side, and back through. Sorry. So we're gonna do one way first, and then we'll switch and go the other way after the minute. So from the side, it's the same thing, Except I'm going over and back. It's like you're drawing a big circle with your hips, pressing over, down through center, over to the side and back up. So go ahead and get into position, and we will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and start. So pressing the hips over to the side, down through the middle, over to the side, and then you can kind of press back. Don't go all the way into a child's pose, but you can definitely press back into the hips to give your wrists a little bit of a break. Now with the feet on this one, if your hips are going over to the right, the left foot kicks the bum first. As the hips go over to the left, the right foot kicks the bum. You can even toss in some hair flicks here, head rolls. As you come forward, the head rolls back. As you come back, the head tucks in. We are almost there. 5 more seconds here. You get a break. We'll go the other way. Again, go ahead and take your break if you need to. Roll out the wrists. You can clasp the fingers together and then draw little circles, figure eights. Try to go both ways, or you can just kind of flick the wrists, kind of press fingers down towards your forearms, whatever gives you relief if for some reason you have issues with your wristies. Go ahead and come back into position and we will start going the other direction. And 3, 2, 1, hips down to the left, over and back. If you find this is difficult, see what happens if you spread your knees wider. Sometimes just changing something as simple as how close or far away our knees are from each other can change. Still really, really, really keep those abs engaged, protecting the lower back, pressing through the wrists. Keep the chest nice and wide. Really push into each side. Almost there. And come back up. Excellent. Take a break with the wrists. We are going to go into just a nice stretch, really quick, to get our hamstrings kind of stretched for the next bit. So just come down onto your back. You can keep one knee bent or you can straighten it out, up to you. Take the other knee into the chest and then you're going to straighten it up, holding it wherever you can. And we're just going to pull and push. So interlace the fingers behind wherever you can. That might be on your thigh or on your calf, on your foot. You're going to push into the hand while you pull the leg forward to you. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the push, but continue to pull. We're going to do that one more time. So push into the arm or into the hand while you're pulling the leg towards you. Active. 3, 2, 1. Release the push, but continue to pull the leg. From here, we're just going to flex and point the foot. And then maybe a couple circles here, one way with the ankle, and a couple circles the other way. and then just bend the knee and replace it down onto the ground. Going to the other side, pull the knee into the chest, straighten it up, and hold wherever you can. When the time starts, we're gonna press and pull, pressing into the hand and pulling the leg towards you. Maybe 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and press into the hand. Use the hand to pull the leg towards your body as you are trying to get the leg away from the body. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go of the press into the hand, but pull the leg closer if you can. Again, we'll go one more time, pressing into that hand. Try to get the leg away from the body, but you're using your arm to pull the leg into your body, creating a resistance, push and pull. 3, 2, 1, release. Stop pushing into the hand, but continue to pull the leg towards the body. Take a nice deep breath here. Flex and point. And then take some circles one way and some circles the other way. Okay, go ahead and rock and roll on up. We're gonna come into a crab position. So hands are behind you. Again, you can have your fingers pointing in whatever direction you want. I find that mine tend to kind of go out more forward, but a little bit to the side. We want a nice wide chest here. So don't allow your shoulders to come up into your ears and lose your neck. Press to get your shoulders nice and back away and your chest pops out. From here, you are going to pop up off of the ground into a crab position. You're going to take one leg up. It's gonna open up to the side, back up to the front, and cross over the other leg. Up, out, up, and cross. Your hips have to swivel in this. Don't force them to stay straight on. Allow them to open and close or swivel side to side. Eventually you add like all kinds of knee, bendy, wavy, leggy thingies. But for now, we're just gonna focus on the up, out, up, and cross. So go ahead and come into position. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1, and go. So you're up, open the leg, bring it back up, and cross it over. Up, open, up, and cross. If this is too much, you cannot keep yourself up off the floor. Fair enough, put your bum down, leg goes up, out to the side, up, and cross over. It's up to you what you want to do, how much you want to push yourself. Let the hips swivel, make sure you're pushing into the hands, chest is wide, don't sink into your neck here. Make sure that you've got a nice long neck, up, open, up, and cross. We're almost there. 5 more seconds, get one more in, and relax. Shake your wrists out. We're going to do the other side next. Are we on time? Excellent. We're almost there, ladies. We got 2 more to go after we finish this. Okay, go ahead and get into position. We start now. Pressing up, leg goes up, out to the side, up, and cross. Up, out, up, and cross. Up, out, up, and cross. Do this in your own time. Go as slow or as quick as you want. Trying to keep the bum up the whole time, or if that's too much, dropping the bum. Keep the body further back from your knees so that you have room to go up, open, up, and cross. Still, even if your hips are on the ground, make sure that you are pressing through your shoulders so that you're not caving in here. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Go ahead, shake your wrists out. Okay, so we are gonna go into clockwork now. From here, we're just laying down. You're going to take both knees, turn your hips one way, kick your heels down towards your bum, and scoop them around and come up. So you're hiking your hip up to your rib cage, bend your knees, try to kick your bum. They go down and over to the other side. So one side of the body lengthens, the other side hikes up, straighten the legs, and then come onto center. So if you watch the hips, they are parallel, they hike, the knees bend, they sweep through center to the other side, and then come back up to center. So let's begin in 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn, feet go down, other way, come back to center. Turn the hips, kick the bum, the hips go the other way, come back to center. So in this, you should be hiking one oblique. As you come through center, the hips go back to normal, and then you hike the other oblique, and then you go back to center. So center, oblique, center, oblique, center. Keep it up. Really think hip to rib cage. Almost there. Swiveling the hips. Three, 2, 1, and roll on up. Okay, so with the last 5 minutes that we have, we're just gonna go through a really quick splits, stretch. Flexibility does play some kind of role in floor work. So we want to come into knees, one foot in front of you, and you're gonna come down, you're gonna come up actually, sorry. So you're coming up first. Make sure that the hip bones are pointing directly forward. So try not to allow the body to tip one way or the other. Squeeze the tush, and from here, you're just going to start transferring the weight forward. Now try to keep that back tush squeezing the whole time. So you're actually going to be lengthening the front of this side. So your hip flexor here. You're squeezing this tush forward as you're kind of trying to lengthen the hip flexor up. Try to keep the upper body upright. And go ahead and come on in. Really squeeze that tush. Try to keep the body up. Abs are in, and you're pushing that hip forward. The back leg, hip is coming forward. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that tush. Maybe walking the front foot out a little bit as you squeeze. Keep both hip bones facing front. As you lengthen here, Maybe walking that front foot forward even more. Keep that squeeze, keep the press forward. Allow the hip flexor. Stretch, stretch, stretch. From here, go ahead and take the hands down. Bring the body down forward and just allow the hips to come forward. From here, start walking the front foot forward. Keep the hands down on the ground, trying to straighten out that front leg. Reach, reach, reach. Sliding, sliding, sliding. Try to keep the body upright. If you have blocks, you can use your blocks. Coming into a split. Hold, we're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Be careful how you come out of this. Maybe sitting over on one hip and bringing the foot back around. Back up onto this position. So you're here, tummy is tucked or pulled in, tailbone is tucked forward as you squeeze that glute muscle. Pressing forward. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. So pressing, squeeze the tush, press the hip forward, elongate the front body here. It's almost like if somebody were to squeeze your tush, pressing it forward. Keep the hips squared here. Walking the front foot forward as you elongate and sink down. Really keep that squeeze on that back glute, pressing the hip forward and down. 10 more seconds here. Keep it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the body forward, hands down onto the ground. Start walking that foot, that front foot forward. Coming down into a nice long split. Try to keep the hips still squared. If this is as far as you get, great, hold it there. If not, keep sinking. Breathing here. Melt down, use your breath. Relaxing. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on out. Excellent. Take the feet in front of you and just bend the knees. Shake it out. Take the hips up or the feet up, knees bent, and then just press. Let the knees swivel side to side, pressing up and through. And then just come into a nice seated position. Roll the shoulders back a couple times. And then switch directions, come forward. And then we'll just end with a couple head rolls. You can do the full circle if you want, or just stick with the front, rolling the ear over to one side and over to the other. Last one each direction. And come on up. Excellent. So next week, if you missed last week, we're going to be doing last week's exercises along with this week's exercises, kind of in quick procession. So there won't be a lot of talking in between. The rest time becomes shorter, and then we just go through them kind of in quick succession to get a nice workout. So it should be fun. Yeah.